Recording. This is my first screencast of 2022-23. Usually what I do, usually these are in color, so of course they're making us scan things a little differently, so sorry about that. But usually what I'll do is I'll have a PDF of my solutions. I'll go through some of them verbally here, and I'll generally go through in order so you can skip through for whichever ones you might be interested in hearing. Hopefully these are pretty straightforward. Like I say, unfortunately I did this in color, as the arrows were in color, but I did not copy it that way. So for conceptual questions 6 and 7, they were asking you to determine the position, velocity, and acceleration based on the motion map. Now the motion map here did not have this little A above it, I don't think. God, this looks bad also, because the arrow should be getting longer up top from below. So at any rate, in this case, because this is 0, the position is always negative. Because the arrows are pointing to the right, that tells us the velocity is going to the right. Because the arrows are getting longer pointing to the right, that says we have a positive change in velocity. So that means we've got a positive velocity. Interestingly enough, for question 7, the answers are exactly the same, except in this case we're in the y-axis. So up is positive and down would be negative. For the problems, which are the exercises and problems, I guess, it ended up asking you to determine something where it was going at constant speed and then it slowed down and then it was going at constant slower speed for about 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after. The time you can't tell from this, but overall you can see it's going it's fast, it's getting shorter and it's slowing down and then it's continuing at a slower speed in the same direction. For problem 8, it asks whether the average speed between 0 and 1 or 1 and 2 is greater. The average speed is greater between 1 and 2. So these arrows are a velocity vector. This arrow is an acceleration vector. Again, had them in color. And this is basically because the distance is greater between 1 and 2 in the same time interval. I would say that the velocity is negative, but that's not what it's asking for. So if you thought that the velocity was pointing negative, and that's important, between 1 and 2 is more negative than between 0 and 1. So 1 and 2 would have a lower velocity, but speed is a scalar quantity, and so the direction and whether it's positive or negative doesn't matter. So higher speed between 1 and 2, because the arrow is longer. For problem 16, it gave you some information there, and then was asking you to basically draw the motion map for something like this. So it's a ball dropped from a 3-story building. It bounces up to the height of the second story, the second floor. So it's coming down, accelerating down due to gravity, hits the ground here, and then it's going up, but doesn't go up as far. It did not rebound, or did not have a coefficient of restitution of 1.0. It was somewhat less than that. So anytime the ball's in the air, it's going to have a downward acceleration due to gravity. When it's hitting the ground at this instant, however, it has a huge upward acceleration from the ground because it's changing its velocity from downward to upward in a very small amount of time. For problem 32, it asks you to determine your average speed to school or work or somewhere like that, miles per hour, meters per second. So there's a lot of ways I could do this. I'm not worried about speed limit signs and things. I just want to know how long does it take me to get there and how far did I go. So I know from doing this a lot of times, it's about 18 minutes, maybe a little less sometimes to get from my home in Reynoldsburg. It's about 9.5 miles on the car's odometer. So within rounding, that comes out to 32 miles per hour. You might be interested in sig figs and saying, how did I get 2 sig figs there when I have only 1 here? Well, if this is 18 minutes, that's 2 sig figs. So technically, I guess this should be 0.30 hours. Converting miles per hour to meters per second, something you should be able to do using this dimensional analysis or factor labeling method. And so I get 14 meters per second. Perhaps your graphing calculator will do those things for you. I'm not so sure. You should know how to do that mathematically. So things in the top, the units in the top are canceled up by the ones in the bottom, and we're left with meters in the top and seconds in the bottom. For problem 42, we're trying to find the speed that this hockey puck was shot. Someone is 5 meters behind the blue line and they're skating at 4 meters per second. And there's someone 20 meters behind the blue line, who's taking the shot. So the first thing you've got to do is figure out how much time it's going to take the first skater to get to the blue line. Well, we take the distance and divide by the speed. Seconds is a unit in the denominator, so that makes it a numerator. And so it takes 1¼ seconds for that forward player to get to the blue line. Therefore, the backward player needs to shoot the entire 20 meters, and it should take 1¼ seconds for the puck to get there, and that's a 16 meters per second puck speed. Problem 47, basically here they gave you the motion map, and it's basically really similar to this story I had here in 16. So I told you to make up a story. So in this case, I've got a dead goose falling out of a tree. People who know me know I'm not a fan of geese. And they accelerate down to a trampoline below, and then they bounce up. But again, it's not the bounciest of trampolines, so it only bounces up about 2/3 as high as where it was fell out of. At the bottom where it hits the trampoline, there's a large upward acceleration. Everywhere else, there's a downward acceleration. For problem 52, you've got 2 people here, or 2 tracks that said to come up with a story. So I'm going to say Cooper Stottridge and Riley Wilson both run to catch up with Coach Hoff, who's the tennis coach, because they were demoted to JV. They both start at the same time, and you can tell they're both running for 5 seconds, or 5 intervals here. But Cooper accelerates at a greater rate, and therefore they finish at the same position. So Cooper started off, I'm going to call him A, and Riley B. Cooper started off behind Riley, ended up having to move faster to end up at the same spot, pleading their case with Coach Hoff. Here, you're given a position time graph. It says it's Y, so I'm assuming that's upward, and time, and you're asked to come up with a story for that. So I said Maddie Moen's running up a flight of stairs for 8 seconds. She stops to rest for another 8 seconds, and then she goes up a second flight of stairs, or another next flight, in only 4 seconds. At this point, that might seem, yeah, okay, that's kind of reasonable. But if you look at it, this is 15 meters in 8 seconds. That's like 45 feet. That's maybe 4 stairs, 4 sets of stairs in 8 seconds, and over here, another 4 sets of stairs in 4 seconds. Maddie's pretty impressive, but I don't know if she would be able to do that. At any rate, hopefully these made sense, and you can look at the PDF or the screencast. Thanks. Have a good day.